Meredith Gorman here, and are you still not subscribed to Matt's channel? Well, if you're not, hit the subscribe button because he's giving out free picks each and every week. Hope you have a good rest of your day.
NFL Week 18. A new week, a week that we're not used to, right? They replaced the one exhibition preseason game with another week, and we can't complain, right? Another week in the NFL, I definitely can't complain. A week that could be tricky, though. This week could be tricky, guys. It involves a lot of research, and on top of now, the COVID, right? But just in general, the last weeks are always tough. Some teams already, made the playoffs. Some teams may only play half the game with their starters. It's not the best week to handicap, to be honest, but there are some spots, and some good news is that this year a lot of teams are playing for something, right? Just Green Bay, top of my head, Green Bay already, they wrapped up the NFC. They got home field advantage. They're not playing for much, of course, so they're going to rest their guys, I'm sure, at least for most of the game. They may throw out their starters in the first quarter. I doubt that too, but for most teams are playing for something, and of course there's teams that are just already eliminated, which, they want to play for pride and to pad it up those stats. You may have to wait to find out, though, with some issues, some COVID issues, so check on that. I do these videos on Wednesdays, Thursdays. You're not going to get all the injury news or all the COVID issues. There are a couple games on Saturday, which I'll be going over one Saturday game. It's going to involve a lot of COVID-related stuff too. So definitely do your research, do your homework. Have those Twitters that I mentioned for you guys, Adam Scheffler, Ian Rappaport, just on your mention or bell or whatever you get the notifications. If you are handicapping, those two guys you really want to follow. They're great with updates. Another good week for myself, guys. Clients and video viewers. Nice hit with the Bengals. We hit a teaser as well. And the lean on the Steelers for the underdog outright. Not counting against my record because it was a lean, but hopefully you guys do tail because my leans also do hit. 21-9 run currently. I did get screwed on the Colts. Colts was the one money. I had them on a couple money line parlays. I really did think they were going to win. That's the only thing that screwed me. But we did have a nice 4-1 spreads and totals weekend, which along with a prop winner as well. And we did a main money line parlay where I had the Titans and Rams. Got lucky with the Rams there at the end. Let's get into the weekly update. I will just go over the NFL because that's the only sport that was available and that I was handicapping. NBA, NHL, ton of COVID issues, so I have been staying away for the most part. So let's look at the NFL here. Free play underdog, 80% still, guys. 12-3, not counting that Steelers unofficial lean last week, but hopefully you did tail that. 70% last 3 weeks, guys. 70% last 3 weeks, ending the week and year strong like we always do. Long-term run, very impressive as well. I'm happy with it. 82-49. That's all bet. So the money lines, the teasers, the props, everything included. 64% lines and spreads. So that spreads total 64%. Really happy with that. Goal always 65 and above. I will get there by the end of the year. And then plus 22.3 units without future bets. Future bets I'll quickly go over, and it looks like a good future regular season, guys. I'll calculate the regular season future bets at the end. If everything does hit, we will be finishing 7-0 in the future market, and that's if just the Bills win. And I'm pretty sure they're going to beat the Jets, but you never know. You never know, right? But we do have two best bets pending on the Bills, over 10.5, and for them to win the division. Two best bets pending. We already hit all the other outrights, as you can see here. And it will be a 7-0 regular season future. So I'm excited for that. Excited for the clients that got those. Couple free bets in there as well. I did give out the Green Bay and the Titans as free bets. So hopefully you guys tailed. That was the beginning of the year. I think it was a tweet and also in a video. If you haven't already, check out System Sports Capping, guys. SystemSportsCapping.com for subscription opportunities. Receive all my personal plays in all sports that I bet. That's NBA, NHL, PGA, UFC, NFL, some boxing as well. And then World Cup is coming up. We had a huge Euro Cup. I do handicap international soccer only. Another solid 2021. I do have a year in review. Check out the year in review on the website. It is up if you haven't. And also a good start to 2022, right? Another solid NFL week 17, so it's profitable already. It's going to be another profitable year. So just get on board if you want to win long-term in sports betting. I do have the system for it. PGA is back this weekend. Very excited. PGA is back. UFC next weekend. So it's going to be busy. I'm going to be busy, especially the next few weeks coming up. We'll be looking at 3 games like usual. 1 Saturday game, 2 Sunday, since we don't have a Monday nighter. Let's start with a Saturday game, guys. I got to break down 1 Saturday game. It's going to be mainly COVID stuff that I want to talk about here. Because the line does look good. It has moved. I think they do think some Eagles are going to be playing, but they haven't been cleared. So let's go over it right now. Cowboys -7 at Eagles. Total 43. I'm hearing it move to around 4.5, 5 now. That's just an update that I get always on my phone. So, this is a big game for both teams, right? The fan bases and, of course, COVID issues on both sides, like I mentioned. When I first look at this game, I see -7 for the Cowboys. On the road, I was all over the Eagles. However, I did more research, and there are a ton of guys on this Eagles team that are in COVID. Both teams already made the playoffs. However, they're fighting for the seeds, and it is important. So, also something to look at here. The Cowboys could rest some of their starters. It is a possibility. They have wrapped up the division and can't catch Green Bay for the number 1 seed. Eagles, 18 guys on COVID list, guys. 18 guys. Some may clear, some may not. You have to watch out Saturday morning to determine that. Check for updates Friday or Saturday. 12 of those players are starters and play a factor on the team, right? Some names include Fletcher Cox, Jason Kelsey, Dallas Goedert, Howard and Scott. Both the running backs are on it since Saunders is already out. So watch that, guys. If they have no running back, these big names are out, you're not going to want to bet this game. This game, you're going to have to wait until later in the day on Saturday. The game's later. It's an 8 o'clock game. So wait on this one. The only issue for the Cowboys, I think Parsons is going to be out. He's on the COVID list. Not too sure if he'll be back. Check that. Watch out for that. Big loss for them. I think I think he's going to miss this game, to be honest, because I think he got that COVID later in the day, like Wednesday. So a big loss for them on defense. However, the Cowboys are pretty much healthy everywhere else. They did lose Gallup last week. That is an issue. However, they're deep at wide receiver, so it's not a huge issue like some would think. This is a big game, so I wanted to talk about it, even though I'm not going to go over much numbers because it's going to factor in on the health status of the Eagles, right? Right now, this line's not going to stay. Like I said, it did move. Obviously, Eagles +7 I would take. I would take Cowboys on a teaser, though, if you can tease them down. But if Eagles gets everyone back, and if you're looking at +4.5, +5, I'll still roll with the Eagles because it's such a big game. I'll take the Eagles plus the points if they get their guys back. No comment on the total. I would lean the over, but I wouldn't play the total here. I would just suggest, do your research on this one if you want to bet. I know people are going to want to bet the Saturday games. I do already have a play in that Kansas City game that was sent out to my clients. But yeah, this game is going to be, few hours or half a day before you can place a bet, just because you have to know who's playing due to COVID. Next game, guys, it is Steelers at Baltimore. -5.5 Baltimore total, 41.5. This rivalry used to be huge, right? This is the game that I used to always look for, obviously being a Baltimore fan, but just in general, most people loved watching these type of games. Hard fought, hard nosed, big tackles. This is the game that you always were excited for to watch, at least me personally, and true football fans, especially if you did like, toughness in games and tough defense and just a battle. Most of the games were close. Funny enough, both teams can still make the playoffs, guys. Yes. Both teams have a chance, a mathematical chance, like they say. Baltimore needs to win, Chargers need to lose, and the Colts need to lose, and Miami needs to lose. Pittsburgh needs to win, Indy needs to lose, plus Vegas and the Chargers. can't tie. So that's a little status here for this one. I know sometimes it gets complicated, but it's fairly easy to go over here. The only problem is Indy's playing the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, recently in history says the Colts struggle in Jacksonville, but this is a different Jacksonville team than previous years. Not saying previous years was better. They have been better than this year. This year it's been a disaster. Indy will win that game, so I don't think either team will advance here. I just think that they don't like each other, so it's going to be an exciting game. Big Ben won his big game at home last week. We were all over Pittsburgh last week. This will be his last dance in Baltimore. So it is a big game for him as well. Looks like no Lamar again. No Lamar Jackson once again, guys. Snoopy has been solid as a backup, and we can't complain what we've seen from him. He's been a capable backup. I've been betting against the Ravens the last 5 weeks and won all of them. Right, I was at least right that they were going to lose all the games. One spread I was wrong on. I took Rams 5.5, but I did also have them on a money line parlay. It was a small unit play on the 5.5. They did not get there, but Baltimore has been covering -1 game. They have been covering these games, guys. I just don't like them being favored here 5.5. It has to be Steelers or nothing here for me if I was betting this game, guys. Steelers healthy on defense. Watt's in there. He's playing unbelievable right now. It's tough for me to lay Baltimore -5.5 with a backup quarterback banged up still. They are getting a few guys back, but they're still banged up. Some COVID's going around still. A couple guys, a tight end Boyle just got COVID, and also Ricard. So I can't be on that 5.5. You got to take Steelers plus 5.5. I think Baltimore could win the game, especially since they lost so many in a row. I expect them to be extra motivated here to get a final win at home for the fans. But I can't get to the 5.5. It's Steelers or nothing. Chargers -3 at Las Vegas, total 49.5. This is a big game, guys. Big game. Winner makes the playoffs type of game. And it is the Sunday nighter. Perfect. Can definitely watch this game throughout. Very tough game to handicap, though. And it won't make my card this weekend. However, the only way I can look is take the points with the home team. That's the only way I can look if you put a gun to my head and I have to play this game. Big wins for both teams last week, right, to keep themselves in this playoff picture. So both could carry that over here. Both games, I can't really say one team is going to carry momentum over. Both teams are carrying momentum over here. I expect points in this one. Both QBs look good last week. Looks like Carr's found a new favorite weapon. However, he's getting his other favorite weapon back, Waller. Waller will be back for this game, it looks like. But Renfrew, guys, what can I say about this guy? Renfrew won that game for them last week. Huge play at the end. He has become a big play guy for him this year. He reminds me a lot of Edelman. How he plays. I believe these two teams, they're just very tough to predict. I have these two teams on a list, a separate list of hardest teams to predict week to week. They are very difficult to pick week to week. Like you saw the Chargers losing the Texans a few games ago. And it was a huge game for the Chargers. They need to win that game. Vegas was on a losing streak, then won 2 big games in a row out of nowhere. In Indy on the road last week, that was unexpected for sure. These two teams have played already. Chargers won by 2 touchdowns at home. Keep that in mind before you back the Raiders. If you are going to back the Raiders, I would lean the over. I could see some points here. I don't love it. But Raiders, I do think they're a good play on the teaser mark, and they will make my teaser segment here shortly. Last underdog outright of the year. Can we make it 13-3? Can we hit another one in a row? If you count that lean, we've won, 6 in a row, I think, underdog outrights? This has to be a record, guys. This underdog outright market going 12-3, 80% on the year. And these are all for free that I'm giving out to you guys. All for free. So hopefully you have been tailing it all year. I don't love it this week, because it's tougher to predict who's going to be playing, who's going to be in, right? The only way I can look, in my opinion, is going to be the Raiders, right? What I just talked about. The Raiders could win this game at home. They could definitely win this game at home. Chargers are very up and down all year. Few others to look at. Maybe the Eagles. Eagles would be a look as well, and this Steelers. But I'm going to go with the Raiders here. everything they've been through, it would be a great story if they make the playoffs. Think about that. Everything that they've been through. Imagine they make the playoffs. That would be wild if they make the playoffs. I'm going to say somehow they get it done. Somehow they find a way to get it done, the Raiders, and that's going to be the underdog outright. Other options this week, Eagles and Steelers. It's just hard. I can't give out Eagles because I don't know who's playing right now, right? So could it change on Saturday? Possibly. I could get to the Eagles. Steelers, they could win on the road, definitely. I just think Baltimore is due for a win here. So I'm not going to make Steelers an official bet. Don't want to go back-to-back as well with them on the Steelers. Teaser, guys. I'm going to give out a teaser for you guys. We're going to go right back to the Raiders plus 10 and Pats just to win. 7-point teaser. Raiders plus 10 and Pats just to win. We hit another teaser. We're on a good teaser run. I think only one loss in the past 5 or 6 teasers. So teaser has been good. It's been up and down all year, though, prior to that. That will do it, guys. That will do it for Week 18, the last video of the regular season. It was another profitable regular season like I expected. Well over, now with the futures, if we hit all the futures, which I do expect Buffalo, it's going to be well over 30 units. So another great regular season, NFL regular season for clients, for video viewers, for myself of course. I just want to thank you guys for tuning in each week. I'll be here for the playoffs, so don't worry. And UFC is back next week as well, so check me out there. Like I always say, guys, bet smart and know your limits. Take care.